there. So, I'm trying to avoid labeling, but this is a topic I will start to switch over from nouns to verbs. And also, I want you to know it's mostly for divorce, parents going through that, or even adult children dealing with, their parents that are doing too much. So that's the large percentage of this particular situation occurring. But so these persons engage in games of control and manipulation as a way to get their needs met. They lack the ability to boost their own self-esteem and require the manipulation of others as a way to feel better about themselves. I want to discuss one way they do this, which is through triangulation. If you think of a triangle, you can visualize actually what triangulation is at its most basic level. Triangulation is the use of at least two people by the dominant person through which passage of information is controlled in how it's presented even to each person. So when the difficult person doesn't want to communicate with someone directly, they will communicate through the third person. When the aggressor uses triangulation, they put themselves in the middle of the communication between two other people. And the bully is now the go-between. So the dominant personality does not talk directly to person A, but instead uses person B as the messenger. And while the aggressor has set up this arrangement, person A might want to talk to the uncooperative person directly, but this is not allowed. And the uncooperative will only take communication from person A that has gone through person B. So this is how they can keep control of information flow even. So triangulation helps the damaged complex boost their feelings of superiority because they are in control even of how the information is presented. Triangulation is meant to belittle the victim and to have them come to the aggressor for any attention they want. Although this interaction is forced by the dominant person, it still serves to boost their ego and help them feel superior. When the bully realizes they can't fully prevent communication between person A and person B, they add in additional tactics. One way they do this is by putting one person against the other through falsehoods or telling secrets. If the dominant can tell one person something negative about the other, but then ask them to not repeat it, then that person may continue to believe that lie and treat the other person poorly because of this falsehood. Now, person B has doubts about person A and limits their voluntary contact with person A. One place triangulation is often seen is in the family relationships, primarily with the destructive person, using their children as the go-between in this triangulation. The dominant parent uses their children as in between the conflict, but not talking to each other. So they're arguing through the child, in other words. So they'll still refuse to speak to their ex-partner and will send all the information through their child or their children if they have more than one. The aggressor will only speak to their partner through the child, but will also refuse information from their partner or ex-partner unless it is given only through that way. This leaves the partner feeling helpless in their communication with this dominant parent, but also puts the child against even the non-aggressive parent. During this triangulation, children are used as a source of even narcissistic supply by the destructive parent or narcissist. The child is used in the triangulation to boost their ego and warm feelings of their superiority. In other words, the destructive parent is using their child as the pawn in their game of control and manipulation to feel better about themselves. When the aggressive parent can control information flow, then the narrative becomes what they want it to be, including any lies about the non-aggressive parent they want to spread. The process of triangulation, though, can be effective for the damaged parent because when they aren't using their child to pass on information, they are ignoring the child. So for the child, the opportunity to have any interaction with even this parent is positive to them. The child might even enjoy the game of passing information because it allows them contact with this parent who would otherwise be dismissive. Because the parent teaches the child it's normal to feel wanted, and for a child who doesn't know better, they value any attention, even from this dismissive or damaged parent. There might also be threats from the aggressive parent if they believe their child is pulling away and not willing to continue this game of control. Either way, the damaged parent is apt at changing their tactics to get what they want, if need be. They look out for themselves and use others, even their child, in supplying their egos when needed. If you are in a relationship with a destructive person or getting out of one, and children are being used as part of this triangulation, it can be difficult to break this pattern, especially when your child is enjoying the contact. However, it is important to get help from friends and our professionals to discuss how to break this pattern to ensure healthy communication styles are modeled for your child and they don't develop a lack of trust for you. The triangulation impacts the balance and control in the family relationship, and the longer it goes on, the harder it can be to stop. So here is how triangulation hurts your children. You're forcing your child to be the mediator between their parents. Number one, the child says, my dad has me tell my mom what he needs from her, or she tells me how to hurt her when they were married, or I always feel like loving one parent means I'm disloyal to the other. I love both my parents, and I can't share the feelings openly, or it makes me feel like I'm alone on an island. Or another one was, this is what I often hear, though, when I counseled children in my job as a child crisis worker, children who had been triangulated. And these are really intensive cases where the kids begin to have serious behavior problems. This is unfortunately all too common, even occurrence for kids, especially in divorced families. A parent involves the children in matters that aren't their responsibility. When it happens, a child feels pulled in between two people he or she cares about. Even well-meaning parents can unwittingly triangulate a child. But there are 4 damaging effects that triangulation has on children I want to share with you. And I want you to ask yourself, have you seen this in your family? If it threatens their security, number one, children's sense of security is threatened when parents triangulate. It can feel like no adult is in charge, thus leaving them to feel the pressure of managing their own lives. Neither adult feels reliable to lean on for leadership, but children were never meant to lead their own lives. It gives them a heavier burden than they should have to bear. When triangulated, children are put in the position of advising their parents even. But adult-sized problems are much too weighty for a child to handle. Even a child seems fine, or at the time if they seem fine, while he or she is listening to one parent vent, the child internally, though, feels the pressure to solve a problem he or she is not equipped to solve. Children who are triangulated also will learn that they have to keep their own emotions to themselves to avoid causing more pain for the parent. It creates a sense of powerlessness. When one parent views him or herself as a victim of the other, the children learn that they are powerless in life unless they are the villain. But when parents treat their situation as a hardship to overcome and show respect towards a former spouse, the child learns resilience. Life will always have some measure of unfairness. It's how we handle unfairness, though. That's what's key. Either we are run over by it or we can conquer it and rise up strong, right? It encourages passive aggression and manipulation. If one parent uses children to get what he or she wants from the other parent, the children learn that passive aggression and manipulation are the only means to use to deal with difficulty in relationships. Direct communication, even if it's difficult, teaches children to have assertive communication skills. So how can we stop triangulation in families? There should only be two people involved in any given conflict, especially within a family. There shouldn't be a middleman. Teach your children to go directly to the person they have an issue with. Set an example by doing that yourself. Avoid venting to one family member about another. Learn and practice healthy boundaries and assertive communication skills. Teach these skills to your children. The book Boundaries, it's Townsend and Cloud, is a terrific resource for this. Only get involved in relationship conflicts if a child is in danger or otherwise needs adult intervention. Just know that even if you find yourself that you might have been in the situation either now or recently, that each day is a new day. We can make healthier, better decisions. We don't have to continue before. And just remember that we do what we can, and we all want better for everyone, right? So as long as we're supportive and understanding, we get the information, learn how to apply it, we all have better days, right? Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye.